Alrighty, it's 1 AM and I've got to go to a vintage machinery show tomorrow, but I just had to show you this. This is a book about the Cold War, on lots of different things about the Cold War, including what become to be known as McCarthyism. Senator Joseph McCarthy, who we don't have a really clear picture of here, there, and there. He basically done something that other politicians had done unsuccessfully. And that was claim that certain politicians or certain people in the government were basically communists or communist sympathisers currently or had been previously, in order to destroy their reputation. Now, although other politicians had tried this, they weren't as successful as McCarthy. Why was that? He was a highly liked person. He had a very magnetic personality. And he would also come out with a lot more exaggerated accusations than other politicians would. The president he was under initially would not call him out on it. And the second president he was under, President Eisenhower, also was unwilling to challenge him directly. In fact, he did actually get one right, Ebeggar. But after the Soviet Union broke down, a lot of his stuff was proved to be chronically overhyped. And he would sort of, he reminds me a lot of Ebeggars. Every time things were dying down a bit, or things weren't looking too good for him, or the last accusation was proven to be true, or he was fading into the background in the media, bang, he'd come out with another allegation. He was highly liked, though, so people would take these allegations seriously, and it was a great way of diverting attention. But McCarthy fell only because he couldn't restrain himself. In 1954, he decided to call out senior US Army leadership, and then basically things went downhill pretty quick from there. But at the end of the day, he was using this fear of the people of having communist traitors in government positions and military positions to his own advantage. And McCarthy's charges were so exaggerated and ultimately so clearly false and self-serving that in effect he made anti-communism a bad joke, though some others continued to believe in him. Sounds a lot like some Ebeggars, doesn't it? And some people may claim that us trolls are no different. The guy was highly liked. He needed to pull the rug from under people, or especially the competition, such as Democrat senators, or he needed to divert attention. So he'd come out with false claims that he couldn't back up in order to save his skin at the time, but in the end he overplayed his hand and people just took it all as a self-serving joke. May I remind you that us trolls don't have to save our skin. We don't need to save our skin. Comparative to some Ebeggars who do in order to continue the money rolling in from their ebegging. This reminds me quite a lot of a Ebeggar, not nomadic fanatic. Although it probably might remind you of him. But this reminds me of another different Ebeggar who claimed a little while ago that he knew the trolls were coming on to his property. They were trespassing on his property because they were bragging about it online, and that was proof that they were coming on to his property. Now, he couldn't show these comments. And other times when he did show quote-unquote proof, one of the proof that people threatened to kill him turned out to be somebody making a comment on a video of Tony's, basically showing screenshots of my video burning down the cardboard house. And somebody made the comment that basically I should have kept him in there and burned it down while he was in there, when he was in it. Which he did. He slept in it one night. But anyway, that was sort of twisted by twisting words, as this Ebeggar does brilliantly well, and a bit of wishful thinking and changing of the context and twisting words turned into it was a threat to kill me. So, having not seen these comments of these trolls bragging about trespassing on his property, well, I bet you they were highly twisted and wishful thinking as well. But of course, you know, it brings up the sympathy level, brings up the e-begging, you know. Oh, he's under attack. Whoa! They're always going to be under attack. But ultimately, I think, at the end of the day, a lot of them will fail from the same thing as Joseph McCarthy failed from. Stuff, claims, basically, that are so ultimately clearly false and self-serving that it all just becomes a big friggin' joke.